Happy Wednesday, DVC fan community, and welcome to this special live edition of the DVC show. Amy hates that theme song, by the way.
I don't hate it, but I wish you guys could see Paul dancing to it.
It's like it hypes me up through the whole thing. It just gets me ready for excitement and to party and to talk about all of this fun with you guys. And to join us tonight, we've got the one, the only Jeff Haslam with us as well. Let us know in the comments if he's a pixelated mess to everyone else. We've been playing with internet problems. I don't know if it's us. I don't know if it's him. But we're kind of rolling with it. We'll see how it goes. We can hear him, and that's what matters. His opinion is what we came here for.
Not his face.
You said that, not me. Wow, you called Panda old last night, and then
it was just a question.
You're just coming out with fire today.
Oh, I like your shirt, Jeff.
Thank you.
It's a little blurry, but it's cool looking.
But thank you all for joining us for this special live edition of the DVC show. We had some news today, a lot of news. News that we expected, news that we didn't expect, news that has been rumored for over 2.5 years. And it was a very, very busy day and a lot of emotions shared both on the DVC fan Facebook group, in our own moderator chat, in our own text threads. It's been a day. Has it digested for you yet, Jeff? Is it,
A little bit. It was funny because the first announcement would come out and then I would calm down a little bit after I got fired up, and then the next one would come and it would get me all riled up again.
I was literally jumping from work meeting to work meeting and then scrambling off meetings to post articles and get things out. And Amy was in the other room filming shorts. If you watched the preview video that was actually up before this live stream started, it was kind of her recap of the paid perks program that DVC rolled out today that we're going to talk in depth about. And then also you did a video
on that, by the way.
Thank you. I found that I really like it when I can film them without filming me. So that makes it a lot easier. And then Paul puts in all the visuals.
Yeah, it's a well-oiled operation now, but between that and the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass, it was just a busy day. I hope that all of you out there listening to us had a wonderful Wednesday and are looking forward to us ramble about this for quite some time. As always, before we get started with this and all of our DVC fan content is brought to you by the world of DVC. Looking to buy or sell a Disney Vacation Club contract, Monera Financial, who can help with financing that DVC resale contract purchase, and the DVC rental store, where you can try before you buy, rent some points, or rent out your own points. And I want to start a little bit before we really go any further. I want to put this out there into the universe now. We're going to put disclaimers on all of the videos that come up in the relatively near future. But we filmed 2 DVC shows last night. We filmed 3 shows that'll go up over the course of the next month. One show was a news update show that'll be coming up on the upcoming Monday here, which will be like Monday the 20-something. Yeah. After that, we filmed a 2-part series, which was our 10 controversial DVC and Disney related topics. You're just going to absolutely love how well those shows aged, because some of the stuff that we discussed, and specifically that Jeff here discussed in those shows, is very relevant to every piece of news that came out today. I think we touched on both of these topics, at least in some nature.
Yeah, we did. And talk about shortest lifespan or shelf life ever. I think less than 12 hours.
Yeah, for I think it was mainly the controversy shows that we had one question in there that related to individual Lightning Lane versus Fast Pass, and we got specifically kind of into this discussion and talked about Universal and talked about Express Pass and everything, and kind of, why doesn't Disney have something like that? And boom, spoke it into the universe. You're welcome. And then I think later we were in a topic discussion that was specific to perks, because we did ask you, the community, a question related to, do you think there's enough perks for Disney Vacation Club or annual pass holders? And lo and behold, that discussion went down the line of a rumor article that we wrote 2.5 years ago, in which we rumored that Disney had at some point considered adding a paid perks program to Disney Vacation Club. And boom, there you go. So you can thank us, you can be mad at us. It is what it is. And we're here to talk all about it. That's all I got at the moment. You got anything?
So in all the news that came out today, the news that got overshadowed was that the candlelight processional.
Oh,
what did you think I was going to say?
Wally. Wally was
Oh,
the
no.
news
Wally.
that got overshadowed.
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a second. Candlelight processional narrators were announced. A lot of people were waiting for those. So that's, we didn't report on that because there was just too much other things. But check that out on the Disney Parks blog. I thought it was interesting. Ralph Macchio from the Karate Kid. Like, he was the Karate Kid. Anyway, he's one of the new ones. I don't know. Thought that was cool. But anyway, go ahead with your Mexican Wally hodgepodge.
It's so weird, but they're also, at the beginning of the day, there was the announcement of everything that's going to be aboard the new Disney Adventure cruise ship, which I believe is sailing out of Shanghai or Singapore. Singapore, yeah. And as part of that announcement, there's going to be a stage show that is based around Wally and Eve. And you guys know me. There was a shrine to Wally back here. We've slowly dismantled it recently because we've started packing. But yeah, so yeah, Wally. That was the only news that I needed.
Yeah,
today.
but it's not a Wally. It's a show. It's Wally.
Don't degrade what it is.
It's Wally with Coco, Little Mermaid.
It's Wally. Can we just have it be Wally, please?
Was Aladdin the last one?
Aladdin. It's like 1900 Park Fair on stage.
Right. It's just so random. Like, I can see putting Wally and Coco together because they're both Pixar, but then you bring in these older films, and like Wally's like post-apocalyptic. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so moving on to the real stuff.
You've destroyed the entire excitement I had for Wally. Anyhow, so we are here to talk about the two big pieces of news today and answer your questions. And we are going to kick things off with what is relevant to us the most, which is the new Disney Vacation Club paid perks program, which is called Membership Magic Beyond. And that I am happy with that name, because the rumored name that we heard about like 2.5 years ago was something much more terrible than that. So
do you remember what it was?
I don't remember exactly what it was. It was like Membership Magic, like platinum level or something like that. Wait, I have an article here. Membership Magic Diamond level was the rumored name over 2 years ago. And can we just say how well that article aged? If anyone did not click on it, if you actually go to our DVC fan page, dvcfan.com, and read the article. 2.5 years ago. It aged pretty well.
What was the exact date on that? It was like...
it was, if I can get back to it.
No.
June 19th, 2022.
There you go.
Yeah. Ryan said it should be called DVC Plus. I think we've used the plus for enough things at this point.
That's starting to get confusing.
No more plus.
No more pluses. So, but anyhow, yeah. Let's see how fancy I can get here. Boom! Look at that. So this was the article that was written June of 2022, and we talked a little bit about what this program could look like. We rumored that it would cost around $100 per year. We rumored some upgrades and some offerings here, enhanced park access, priority room upgrades, exclusive ticket offers, expanded access to member-only spaces, premium offerings on Disney vacations. I'd say we got about, half of those kind of hit the mark there. I also kind of put in the article some summaries of some other stuff that would potentially we would like to see. And I think this is going to be part of the conversation as we kind of get into what has actually become this program, which is the new Disney Membership Magic Beyond. So there's been lots of questions regarding what this program is and what this program isn't. And so I think it's very important to kind of clear up what this program is. This is a paid add-on for direct qualifying members. So you do have to qualify for membership extras. You do have to have essentially that DVC-Y designation these days and qualify, have, right now it's 150 points, but if you bought in and were grandfathered in, it could be a less amount. But if you do qualify, you'll have the ability starting on December 3rd to purchase this $99 add-on fee. And I actually had a comment come in on our article a couple minutes before we went to air. And there was a question related to, is it $99 per membership, per member? It is just $99 for your family's contract. It's not per membership. It's not per use year or anything like that. You are only paying the $99 fee one time. And then that $99 fee is good for these added benefits, these added perks that will begin on January. Typically, it'll start at the beginning of the year. It sounds like they need a little bit more
January
time.
12th, yeah.
But other documentation says that in future years, it'll start on January 1st. But January 12th through the end of the year, it will be kind of your perks season in which you will now have these added benefits. And I believe correct me if I'm wrong. What did I say the designation will now be? So they'll be like DVC-Y, but they're
DVC BY.
BY, so for like beyond. So if you are eligible in the program, it'll be like DVC BY is what you'll see.
We're just making that up.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I know Lauren was going to be on the show with us tonight, Lauren Dela Cruz, but she's busy being the best mom in the world at the moment. So she is in the comments, and she can maybe correct us on what that's going to be. But
I know you haven't gotten into everything, but just while we're on the surface of the designation of DVC-Y, DVC BY, YB, whatever, I feel like, right, like if they're going to go for this, and this is something that people are paying extra money for, I think the cast members are going to have to get better at checking that designation, because this is like something that even with the DVC-Y and the DVC-N, it's something that goes by the DVC wayside.
It does. Jeff, I know Tatum was just recently in the college program. Did she ever talk about like checking for designations?
She was quick service, so they didn't offer any discounts.
Yeah, she didn't get a lot of that, but I made the joke in our moderator chat today that with all these different designations, the cast members are going to have to learn to speak in runes or code or something, because to your point, Paul, we're adding another one, not to mention the AP. Like there's going to be so many things in that the cast members aren't going to remember, especially when it's busy. I don't know.
A cast member several years ago, I think it was before we moved on from blue card, white card territory, actually showed me kind of a slide or like a printout that was in like the employee break rooms, in which it was basically a picture of like a DVC blue card and with a big green check mark over top of it, and there was a picture of a white card and a big red X over it. Like that, you can tell that they struggle with this. They very, very much struggle with this, and so
and it's not just our world that they have to deal with too. Like you said, Tatum doesn't really deal with the DVC discount at a quick service, but there's 3 or 4 different levels of cast member discount. They have their own colored cards, green and blue and red and all these kinds of things. And like, I can't imagine being a cast member and having to deal with it on a daily basis.
It's a lot to keep straight. And a lot of these are just, they're younger kids. This is like maybe one of their first or early jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. You're trying to learn how to be an adult, and now you got to try to figure out, who qualifies for what. And it probably is hard.
We did get a question as we were talking through this, and I have to find my mouse because I have way too many screens going at the moment. Vicky Croft asks, is it $99 one time? And all the perks are good. It is $99 per year. So this year, the benefit is going to be $99. In subsequent years, that could obviously increase. Nathan here is already rumoring 149 next year,
I
299 the
mean,
year after that. I
that's
mean,
My
not
thoughts
far-fetched.
exactly.
Mhm.
it definitely will and potentially can increase
Yeah. And
over time.
it's literally a year. So, we don't know if you can purchase in the middle of the year, but your year doesn't start, if they allow for that, your year doesn't start when you buy. Like everybody's year next year starts January 12th and expires December 31st. So,
Exactly.
so they've made that pretty
Yeah,
clear that
I don't see them prorating this or having different start dates for whenever you buy. Yeah,
yeah.
it's already complicated enough.
So let's dig into the added perks that you are going to receive for spending this $99, and then we'll kind of go around the room and see if we think it's worth it. So, in terms of enhanced value, this is one of the big things that members have asked for a long period of time, which is ticket discounts. Keep in mind that there is no direct ticket discount for Disney Vacation Club members at this current time. There hasn't been for many years. Previously, there were some special offers, but there is no actual ticket discount. So this, I put discount in parentheses, but you do have some options here in terms of ticket options. So you do have the ability with this to purchase a discounted 5-day weekday ticket for Walt Disney World. Emphasis on weekday, so no weekends. This includes one water park admission, and you can essentially purchase up to 8 of these tickets. So purchase one for the member and up to 7 people in the household. For Disneyland, you can purchase a discounted 3-day weekday ticket. The big difference here, all of these tickets are for single parks. You do have the ability to add the park hopper option at an additional cost, but these are single park options in terms of the discounted tickets. The Disneyland ticket will include the Lightning Lane multi-pass functionality on the ticket already. So a little bit of an added benefit with that Disneyland ticket. Again, same number of tickets can be purchased here, up to 8 tickets total in that calendar year. Also, on the ticketing side of things, you get a 30-day memory maker benefit as part of your purchase. So this essentially allows you to have, whenever the calendar year starts, essentially on January 12th, this will be loaded into your account. You can activate it at any time, and it'll be valid for a 30-day rolling period. And basically, I think what that means is once you activate it, you have 30 days in which, you could have unlimited photo pass. And then you'll also, I think it's like 45 days after the expiration date to then download those photos.
Okay, so it's not like 30 random days that you choose throughout that year.
No.
It's a single
No.
30-day period
Correct.
of whenever you choose to start it. So your best bet is to pick like your largest trip, and that's where you're going to get the most value out of that.
Yep. So those are kind of the ticket related benefits that are associated with the new membership Magic Beyond. Then we get into some additional benefits. Now, these benefits, I don't know. This is where it gets a little bit into kind of a gray area. So character meet and greet at the Imaginatrium Member Lounge in Epcot. So anyone that qualifies for member benefits can go up to the member lounge, but you have to have spent the $99 fee to then have the exclusive character meet and greet at the lounge as well.
Which we think is going to be in a separate spot.
Yeah, it's probably going to be in a separate area. There's a lot of unutilized space up there, so probably part of what they've been doing upstairs and having that lounge down for so long is kind of developing what this is going to look like in terms of a character meet and greet. The other thing related to lounges is that you are going to have priority lounge access. Now, again, anyone that qualifies for member benefits can go to a lounge. There's been a lot of miscommunication about that today. Anyone can go into the lounge. The problem that certain lounges get into, and I've heard that this happens more in Disneyland than we typically see it here at Walt Disney World, is that the lounges move to a wait list. There's only so many seats available. I know it's happened to us before when we've tried to go to the Epcot
and it's
lounge.
likely going to happen at Magic Kingdom, probably the most.
Yeah,
because
Agreed.
it's small. It's a very busy, very popular park. Yeah.
Yeah. So this gives you essentially, it's almost like its own lightning lane to the front of the line for the lounges, in which you will jump to the front of the wait list and kind of be one of the next parties to
Well,
then go in.
over those who don't have
That don't have this.
that extra
Yes.
perks.
And this is where this compounds on itself for multiple reasons. We'll get into that later. In terms of additional other benefits, you will have the ability to purchase a Disney Sorcerer Pass using Disney Vacation Club points, because that sounds like it's going to be a great deal.
Sarcasm noted. Yeah, we don't know yet. We don't know. We're gonna have to wait. And the same thing with the ticket prices. We don't know what those are gonna look like.
Yeah. You have the ability to purchase one-time use points, and if they could have phrased this any worse, it would have amazed me. They should have basically just phrased it as buy one get one free one-time use points. The number of total one-time use points that you can get has not changed. That is 24 points. But in this program, if you've paid the $99, then if you need 24 points, you buy 12 and you get 12 free. And essentially those 12 points are valued at $200. So you've made back your money.
At first, it almost read as if they were limiting everybody to 12, and then the people in this program got the 12 free. So if you didn't pay for the program, now you can only buy 12 one-time use points, but that's not true. Reading through, like the frequently asked questions and stuff, it is still 24 total. It's just that if you're not buying into this program, you can buy up to 24. If you are, like Paul said, you really only have to buy 12, and then the other 12 are bonus. If you only buy 5, you get 5 free. You know what I mean? So
last but not least, in the benefits that have been announced so far, waived booking transaction fees. So this is that $95 fee if you use your points on a Disney cruise through Disney Vacation Club, or use it for Adventures by Disney or a National Geographic expedition. There is a $95 basically transfer fee or transaction fee associated with that. They are waiving that fee if you are part of this program. So if that's something that you traditionally do, there could be a benefit there. Other than that, I think we've kind of covered most of the specifics of who qualifies. Again, it is part of membership extras, so you do have to already qualify or be that DVCY designation. And I think the end of this article is where we come to at this point, and I'm just going to pause. And Jeff, I'm going to ask you the question that I asked right here. Is the paid perks program worth it?
For a small select group of people, yes. I don't think for the vast majority it is. If you're not an annual pass holder, if you're not a local, and if you're somebody that frequently uses one-time use points, then this might be a program that saves you some money. For me, there's nothing on this list of things that is worth half this cost, if I'm being 100% honest. First of all, let's all get on the same page with one thing, and I'm going to try not to rant too hard, but I've been thinking about this all day. We've got to get away from calling something that you have to pay extra for a perk, because it's not. A perk is something that you get as part of your membership. This is a way of Disney speak saying, ooh, we found a way to take more of your money. Somebody in one of our groups said, I feel like I got pickpocketed by Disney today. And that is 100% true. If you're in that select group, I'm happy for you, because I think this is really good. But for the rest of us, my annual pass already, for the $100, I already added photo pass. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, yeah, and 30 days isn't going to do you any good.
And 30 days does
when
me
you go
no
one
good
day
at
a
all.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. They should have added way more so that it was kind of more of a well-rounded membership. And some things just off the top of my head, something similar to Tables in Wonderland would have been, and even if it cost more than $100,
yeah,
that's something that I could have gotten on board with, a Tables in Wonderland type of discount. The park ticket discount for your household. I'm sorry, but every time anybody comes from Utah to visit me, I take them to Disney World and we stay on my points. There is no better sales tactic for Disney than DVC members bringing their friends and family to their DVC villa and showing them what the other half lives like. You know what I mean? And so the fact that we're still shut out of those discounts for people that don't, quote unquote, live in our household is just a huge miss. Like I don't know. Those are two of my top things.
Kaza said, I'm with Jeff. Very much depends on what your specific situation is. I'm a Disneyland local who doesn't currently own a Walt Disney World annual pass. So for me, I think it is worth it. And I think this is, this is kind of the crux of the situation. And I'm not going to lie, they did this very well. And I'll get back to that in a second, but I'm curious as to Amy's opinion on this first.
Well, okay. So when I looked through this, I literally was like, nope, nope, nope. Because for us, you're right. But it's not all about us, but there's nothing here that benefits us. We don't buy one-time use points anymore. We don't buy tickets anymore. And if we do, we buy them, if we have people coming and visit us, they're from out of town or whatever, but we also don't typically buy weekdays. We're usually weekends, which are excluded from this. What else was on there?
Well, and yeah, I mean, Jeff's going with us when we go to Disneyland next year, and we scheduled something, unfortunately, over a weekend, and so that's exactly where.
Yeah,
our head went.
I almost thought, oh, we could use the Disneyland one,
Yeah,
and then it's like, oh no, it comes because it's technically a weekend to Disney is usually Friday and Saturday. So if any of those 3 days are on a Friday and Saturday, then there's no point. The access to the lounge, like that doesn't cost them anything to give, a front. I don't mind waiting. Put me, text me when it's ready. I'm going to go to Epcot and World Showcase and drink a couple beers. You're
not going to drink beer.
Shefahofa.
Oh,
I do love me some Shefahofa.
Juice.
Beer juice. I'm trying to think. I need that list again. Even though
of what is
of
offered?
what was offered. The character thing, that doesn't excite me too much. I have a Disney Visa, Chase Visa, and I can go into that character meet and greet.
Yeah, Memory Maker.
The Memory Maker, yes, 30 days. So this is going to benefit, like Jeff said, if you buy one-time use points. I will say, if you are a constant buyer of one-time use points every single year, then all you have to do is buy 5, get 5 free, and that's $100 right there because they're $20 a piece. So I do see that value for those people. If you are going to if you do like a big trip every year, like maybe one big trip every year, that photo pass benefit for the 30 days is going to be is going to, get you your money back. So there are people definitely that this is going to appeal to. I'm thinking, and we'll have to look at your pool. But I also am thinking that some people are going to be like, you know what? It's $99. That's pretty cheap. I'm just going to buy it, in case I decide to use any of those things. And I think you're going to get a lot of those people that may never even take advantage of it, but they buy it because it's right now the price is cheap. It's kind of nickel and diming feeling. You know what I mean?
So, well, and if I could just, really quick touch on that. Yeah, it's only $100, or I think Ryan in our group said $8.25 a month. On the surface, you're right. That is not a lot of money. Big deal. But there has to be some value for that.
Yeah.
I think. And like we already talked about, for small people, there is. But where's the benefit for people that their home resort is Aulani and they go to Aulani all the time? There's nothing out there. There's nothing at Vero. There's nothing at Hilton Head. Mm-hmm. This is a theme park strategy. We call it lipstick on a pig, however you want to, but this is a theme strategy for them to bump those numbers up. You know what I mean? Like and the more they think it's successful. So I just really want people to think about it before they pull the trigger on this. If it works for you, great, no judgment whatsoever. But don't just buy it because it's there, because we need to show Disney at some point, this is too much, or we need more.
I think at the end of the day, I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record when you listen to the shows that come after this in the future weeks. But I spoke on this in great detail. Companies, all they have to do is find one thing that make you find the perceived value. all you need to do is have that one item.
Yeah.
Um,
For Royal Caribbean, it's drink coupons.
yes, for Royal Caribbean, and we went
Free
into
drink coupons.
it's free drink coupons, and what that has done is gotten Amy and I to essentially exclusively cruise Royal Caribbean because we are destined to hit diamond. And what does that mean? Most likely it means that over the course of the next 10 years, I'm going to spend over $100,000 on cruises with Royal Caribbean
For some free drink coupons.
for free drink coupons 10 years from now.
Because we're suckers.
But this is the mindset that, if you're in marketing or if you're in sales, this is the mindset that works, is because if one of these things, if you are even sitting on the fence with one of these benefits at this moment, my understanding is there's going to be a period in which you can opt into this, and then you're not going to have the option to opt in maybe later in the year. I don't know,
and
that
that's probably going to be by design.
By
to
design,
create that sense of urgency. Like you got to buy in between these dates and these dates, or you're missing that window.
So you're
it's
thinking
like open enrollment.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like healthcare open enrollment. So you're going to have this 30-day period in which, you're either becoming part of the Membership Magic Beyond program this year, or you are not. And the question you have to sit down and ask yourself is, am I going to use one of these things and make back my $100 over the course of the next year? Is it worthwhile to me? Do I save money by spending this $100? And this is where I get to the crux of the situation. Because, Jeff, you mentioned it, it's not a perk, and none of this is designed to save you money. What this is designed to do is to get you to spend more money with one brand, and that is the Walt Disney Company. If you purchase this because you think that potentially you're going to buy those one-time use points, well, what if you get halfway through the year and you haven't bought those one-time use points? You're going to be like, oh, I wasted $100. I better buy those one-time use points. Mm-hmm. Well, now...
Or buy some tickets to get that discount, or...
Yeah, now you've spent X number of more dollars because you did that, or you bought the tickets, or you swapped your points for a cruise, or you did something else. They are capturing more of your money because they've given you a perceived value that I need to buy something to get my money's worth. For me, it reminds me of when I go to Kohl's and I buy a pair of jeans, and the receipt comes out and it says that I spent $10, but I saved $87. And no part of that makes sense. And yet at the same time, I feel good about it. Yeah. And so, that's at the crux of how this is designed. And you can see from the poll results from the people that are watching this show right now already.
It was more yes a little bit ago. So it's been fluctuating.
The fact that it's even 50-50.
Yeah.
Out of over 250 votes, 49% are considering purchasing. 51% are considering not purchasing. And that's all Disney needs. If they get 50% of members to purchase this thing's a gold mine, pays for itself. If you look up, the value of subscription-based programs, they've created a monster here, and they've really not offered much in return on the design. I sit here and say this all, and yeah, I'll purchase it.
And then they hit you with the Kohl's cash.
But yeah, I'm going to purchase it so that we can see, does it have value? That's part of, what we do here. But I think it would depend on us and the specific year and the benefits. Mm-hmm. But this gets you the same as buying direct versus resale gets you with FOMO. And I think that's going to ultimately be it. And that's why the price is going to go up year after year, is because they realize that they've created something of that regard. And I would don't expect any traditional member benefits to ever be added again, or don't expect much to be added in that regard. Anything that's added is going to go into this program to capture that money from you.
Well, and that's a really good point. So 2 things. First of all, we didn't really talk about the water park. You get a free day at the water park or something like that as part of this? Is that did I make that up?
That's just with a 5-day
if you buy
discount.
The ticket. So you spend more money. Yeah.
Which, if you're staying in a deluxe resort, you get that anyway on check-in day. So that is a moot point unless you don't want to go on check-in day, I guess. But Paul, you hit the nail on the head. This feels very car dealer to me. Hey, we'll put you in this new car with 3.9% financing and we'll throw in tires, but you have to have all your maintenance done in our shop. And then we'll give you free tires, so that they can. This is the very same thing. Disney has become the biggest world because they've found a way to just have you spend your money every which way. But the thing that drives me crazy is, again, like Paul just said, this is for direct members only. So direct members who are already paying a premium for their membership compared to resale members are now being asked to spend even more money to get benefits that I'm sorry, most of this should just be included with your direct membership, I feel like, because you're already spending 225, 230, $300 a point to get into the thing, and then you have to spend another $100.
It's really funny
Aggravating.
watching Jeff go from blurry to
Oh, am I
like
breaking up?
the
Sorry.
sound. No, you like got really clear, and then your voice was like coming after your your mouth.
Your
So
mouth and your words weren't matching up, and it was great,
Of course
and
not.
we loved it.
it's better now. It's good now.
But yeah, and Derek's not here to say this. He's at a football game tonight. Panda's at a play. Like I said, we filmed a bunch of shows, last night. But I think Derek would be the voice here that would tell you this can change, things can go away, and they've made it very clear. And this is the part that I absolutely love. And I want to go back to our screen share for this real quick. So in terms of disclaimers, I have never seen more new disclaimers for one product than I have seen for this. So not only do we have new terms and conditions related to the Membership Magic Beyond program, which this fully outlines the specifics
Oh,
of
that is a
of
long
all of the
page.
details. Yes, this is a very long page. It outlines every single benefit that is currently offered and the terms and conditions of using them and their expirations. You do have to call member services to purchase the tickets. That is in here. It talks about when those tickets expire. It talks about redeeming those tickets. If they go unused, how you can redeem them for a new ticket or how you can redeem them potentially and upgrade it to an annual pass. There's even specifics related to the character experiences in these terms and conditions. And it keeps going and going and going. And this is just specific to
So
the
if you
program.
really, really want to know before you buy
Yes.
what you're getting into,
I did read through this earlier
sit down
today.
with a hot cup of tea and
Yeah.
read through that puppy.
But that's not it, ladies and gentlemen, because the membership benefits acknowledgement disclosure statement changed today as well. And it has a whole new section in here down below membership extras where they tell you that membership extras can be removed at any point in time. If you go down below that, down below discounts and everything else, then we get into a section somewhere down here that talks all about the new Membership Magic Beyond option. Here we go. Optional benefit program. And they talk about in this section how any of these benefits can change at the discretion of Disney Vacation Development at any given time. And they are fully in control and can remove benefits and cancel benefits and change benefits. And it's just the amount of legal work that went into all of
benefit
this.
seasons, if any, are likely. Yeah. So that's even if they decide to continue. Yeah. It's interesting.
Well, and for all of the disclosures and statements and CYA agreements that they have in this, we still don't know what the discounts on those tickets are going to be. We still don't know what the point conversion is for those annual passes. Like, for all the information they gave us, they didn't really give us a lot of information.
Yeah.
I would hope that before the launch date of this project,
I think we're not gonna know those until
December
around
3rd.
Yeah, around launch. When do annual passes typically go up in price? We might be waiting for that before they figure out that conversion. The same thing with tickets. If annual passes go up, usually ticket prices go up. So they're probably waiting for that to figure out what, you know what I mean? And DVC and those who decide on Disney tickets, annual passes, those are two different companies of one, one big one.
Yeah.
So they probably have to wait for that information. So we probably won't know for a few months at least, what those are even going to look like.
And I do think that this is, some people are talking about this in the chat. I know Ryan just said with membership. Well, let me go to this screen. You'll probably be able to see it better. It said with membership Magic Beyond perks saying they can go away at any time. What are the chances DVC starts moving perks over to the Beyond aspect? I think that's what you mean by this, Ryan. But, I would not be surprised to see perks moving over to this, because here's ultimately what's happening. And in these disclosures and all of those terms and conditions, it says so. The perks are paid for out of the membership of those that opt into the perks program. So this is Disney's way of offsetting the cost that they historically have taken on for member benefits and passing that on to us, and basically being able to have money to pay for those things that doesn't come out of their operating budget. So their operating budget goes up. They now have a subscription program that goes up, and they're making money on multiple fronts. It's truly ingenious. The businessman inside of me is saying it's truly ingenious, and off of the early survey results, it sounds like it's going to be successful, because enough people are saying, this does save me at least the $100, if not more, by doing it. And so why not?
And it's not really costing Disney that much,
No.
The one-time use points, like, you feel like you're getting a deal because they charge $20 a piece, but the value of those is not. They're just finding like random unused Vero Beach points.
The largest fee Disney had was getting the legal team together to write all of these disclosures,
which took 2.5 years.
Which took 2.5 years, apparently.
Yeah, that $95 waiving that fee for you to transition your points into the rob your point system, like that like you said earlier, that's a throwaway. That $95, that they don't even need to charge that. They're already making bank on those points.
Had a question come in. Do we think this will drive new direct sales? Will this push resale members to buy direct?
I don't think so, but
not yet. I mean, we'll see what the future holds. But
right. If it gets a lot more desirable of a program, I could see it being, I want to be able to buy that, so I want to buy direct. But right now, I don't. There's nothing that I think, you get most of their direct sales are like new, kind of unsuspecting, I guess, buyers. They get the Disney magic bug. While they're on property, they meet with a DVC guide. They're not going to really understand the whole, one-time use points and waiving this fee. Like, I don't think they're going to really know enough.
It's not enough for it to be a tangible benefit. Like, you look at most of this, when we go to the argument of why people buy direct for benefits, the primary benefit typically is access to the annual pass benefit. That's a large driving factor. The second is FOMO related to Moonlight Magic. You could probably add in there, the dining discounts a little bit. They do kind of have a small tangible benefit there. So all of those things are like quantifiable metrics. There's nothing here that's as quantifiable as that is.
Right.
And until we know maybe the price of those ticket discounts, that could be the thing. But ultimately, even if you're taking advantage of that, the annual pass is probably starting to look attractive. So I feel like it wouldn't drive necessarily new direct sales, but I can tell you what could be an easy sales tactic is, you know what? We're going to throw this in for your first year for free.
Back to my car dealer.
Boom.
Rest coating.
Oh, yeah.
You get
Those
for
are
free.
like, it's like the mud flaps.
Here's your mud flaps.
That's what I got when I bought my Equinox. Mud flaps.
I would be shocked if we don't start hearing that come up, because it's just an easy throwaway, and it could be something that they leave. Timeshare is too regulated for this. Timeshare is more regulated than a used car lot. But part of me goes, I wouldn't be surprised if they basically left it at the option of the guides to basically say, if you think you're losing a sale, throw in the $100 member Magic Beyond.
Yeah, but I think that like as soon as the thing about the DVC community is they talk and they socialize with each other, and So as soon as someone finds out, like, oh, I
Yeah.
pretend to like,
Why didn't I get it?
yeah, and then everyone, you know what I mean? I think that'll go by the wayside really quickly.
Yeah. So that is the paid perks program that we've been waiting 2.5 years for Disney Vacation Club to release, and we know very little on it. We got some details. I would encourage you to head over to the website dvcfan.com, read through. There are links in that article that'll take you to the Disney Vacation Club website. That'll, if you really want some really light reading material, you can go through all of those terms and conditions. Also, there is a page, and I'll pull it up here for you real quick. There is a page here of frequently asked questions. So it talks about who's eligible to purchase. It talks about, the question that we answered at the beginning of the show related to if you have 2 memberships or 2 contracts, what that
So
looks
this
like.
is interesting. Can you hit learn more under, do I have to purchase 2? So I saw a question where someone was asking, can I buy more than one? And the reason that they wanted to buy more than one was if they had 2 different memberships and they wanted the one-time use benefit for both. But if you own multiple memberships and you bought it as you, the member, like, would you get that for all your contracts or?
That's a great question. So would it basically multiply the one-time use benefit across multiple memberships? I don't know the answer to
Yeah,
that.
we don't know that
Yeah.
because there's no literature for that yet, but that's an interesting
Yeah.
question
But
or
they
thought.
specifically do state that you would not have to purchase multiple memberships.
Right.
However, at least one of your memberships must be eligible. My guess is that they're probably just going to cap off the number of free one-time use points that you receive. So, maybe it's a max of up to 12 that you receive free, and then, that would only apply to your one membership.
Yeah. I'm assuming they're probably going to keep it to 1.
Yeah.
One per.
Legal is listening to us ramble about this right now, and they're just jotting down notes as to how they need to clean up their disclosures a little bit more to make sure that they've buttoned up every little nook and cranny of all of this. So, but yeah, Jeff, any last thoughts on the paid perks program? While we talk to Jeff for a second here, if you do have any questions about this that we've not asked, go ahead and ask those at this time before we move on to the other big news of the day, which Jeff is super excited about because, why make Lightning Lane even more confusing than it already is. But Jeff, last thoughts on the perks program, and then we'll answer some questions related to this.
No, I think it is what it is, and I'm hearing comments that my internet really sucks. So I'm wondering if I should tag out because even looking at this, I'm terribly blurry.
You look beautiful. It's your It's your voice that matters.
Yeah, I just, like I said before, it's good for some people, but I think the vast majority of us, I think it's a miss for the price that they're charging. And it kind of feeds into my anger about what's coming next that we're going to talk about in a second. So I'm just going to pause right there.
Let's see. Chris said, if a room at Disneyland Hotel is 24 points, how many of my own points do I not have to use to book a room with one-time use points within the 7-month window?
You technically don't have to use any of your points.
Nope. You wouldn't have to use any of your points.
You can do all one-time use points.
Keep in mind, one-time use points, for those people unfamiliar with what those are points that can be purchased to supplement your membership within that use year. Those points can only be used for reservations within the 0 to 7 month booking window. They do fluctuate in value or cost. So currently they are priced at $20 per point for the one-time use point.
They used to be like 19 or I feel like they were 17 at one point.
I think they went
up to like 22, 23. Yeah.
So
the other thing that's important to know about one-time use points is you cannot bank them forward. They do expire at the end of the use year that you bought them in. But you can cancel a reservation that you used with them, and you can reuse them within that, before they expire. But they're not they're not really visible. Like, the technology doesn't always work. You can't always see them. Sometimes you have to call to do that.
Steve with the $1 million question. any thought on how many points to purchase the Sorcerer's Pass? Um, we
We're
were
guessing
making
like the 50 range.
yeah, we were
I
making
feel
bets a
like.
little bit ago on that. So
Yeah.
you have to kind of look at the basically the value of how Disney historically has valued points, which is basically kind of half of whatever maybe the rental value of those points are. So they're actually making money on the transaction no matter what. And so when you kind of break it down that way, and then you look at the cost of the Sorcerer's Pass, I think maybe 50 to 75 might be kind of the sweet spot in this, unless they really want to provide a true benefit as part of this program and make it more enticing.
Yeah. And to answer the question that just came up, you do not have to be out of points to buy one-time use points. You can be, we have been in a situation where, okay, we don't want to use these points. We're saving them for 11-month window over here. So we're going to get one-time use points. And we've done that before. So yeah. You can get them at any time. You can just only have 24 per year per membership.
Yep. So there you go. That's our information on the paid perks program that we got today, and I'm sure there will be more and more details coming out about this. I'm sure there will be more benefits that are added to this over time. So continue to let us know your thoughts on all of this in the comments and over in the DVC fan Facebook group, because we've been there chatting away with all of this all day, every day. And I will, as we are kind of what I will call halftime of this live stream, I will say, if you've not done so already, please hit that thumbs up button, like this video. If you are with us and you're not chatting along, that means you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, DVC
you
Fan
have to be
YouTube channel.
subscribed to
So
see the
you
live
do
chat.
have to be subscribed to the channel so
Keeps
that you
the
can
bots out.
so that you can go in the
Yes.
in the live chat. Yeah, it
Which
keeps the bots out, and it keeps Corey, who's one of our moderators in the chat,
From having
very
a panic
calm and from
attack.
having a panic attack. So that's what we want at all times.
I do want to say hello to Troy, who said he was a new subscriber,
Hi,
and
Troy.
I love that he
Yeah.
put pumpkins and Halloween things in his.
Amy is full fall mode
on fall.
right now.
It's not in your office. It's very warm.
Well, we've got these giant lights on us and everything
it feels
else.
like fall outside. It is like 60 degrees. I'm so excited.
Yep. Let's see. And also, I did want to.
A lot of people have been making comments about your
my facial hair. It started off as a hurricane beard, and we're just kind of rolling with it at this point. No Shave November is right around the corner, so I've never made it an entire month without shaving. I get to a point where it just drives me absolutely bonkers. We'll see what happens.
It's kind of cute. Except,
do you think it's worth, while we're doing half one, do you think it's worth me running downstairs and resetting my Wi-Fi?
I mean, if you want to, yeah, it's totally up to you. Okay.
I'll be back.
We'll just keep talking.
Bye, Jeff. We won't talk too much about everything going on before this. Actually, this will be a nice segue. So before we get into the second big news of the day, which is the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass, I want to give you a little bit of a teaser to what is coming up tomorrow over on dvcfan.com. As I mentioned earlier in this show,
oh my goodness,
I invited the one, the only Lauren Dela Cruz to join us tonight, but she's being an amazing mom to her son tonight and was occupied doing that. But she put together a blog that is going up tomorrow. And I said, Lauren, this might be the spiciest blog you have ever written for
the side of Lauren
DVC
Dela
fan.
Cruz we've never seen.
First, I just absolutely love the photo here, which is the Hey Disney device, and Hey Disney, can we stop the money grab? But this article kind of goes into some good detail and does kind of hit on a lot of points that are what we're all thinking is when does this money grab stop? When does Disney stop trying to continue nickel and diming us and pulling every penny from us? And are they losing track of their are they losing touch with their most loyal member base?
Here's what I want to know, because it's been a while since I've priced out. When we used to come to Disney and we weren't DVC members, I remember one year, and we had to save up for several years before we could go to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So that year that we stayed at Coronado Springs, I want to say that whole trip for the two of us was around $5,000. But we're talking tickets, like for, I think we went for 9 days.
Mhm.
So we're talking tickets. We did do the deluxe dining plan. This was before fast passes cost money. And so hotel tickets and dining plan basically, right? Um and that's a lot of money, and that's why we only would go like once every 3 years or so. So I'm curious because obviously most of us here in this chat are probably DVC members. But if you're out there and you've just done a Disney World package, anytime within the past like year since Genie and Lightning Lane, all that started, like around a week or so, hotel, tickets for your family, Lightning Lane, plus all that you spent on dining. Like how much is that now for a family of, 3, 4, 5 people or so? I'm just curious because, honestly, we're in a different world now. We have DVC points, we have annual passes. But just curious.
For those of you that are watching along right now live and that are in the chat, I did just change the poll question there. So we did already talk about the new membership Magic Beyond program, and we are kind of segueing over into our Lightning Lane Premier Pass discussion. And so now the question is, would you purchase a Lightning Lane Premier Pass on your next Disney vacation? So go ahead, go to the live chat right now, vote in that poll so that we've got those results as we kind of get into this. While we wait for Jeff to come back, we will start to kind of go through the details of what was discussed. And this was the news that everyone woke up to this morning and was like, what just happened? There were rumors of this that were kind of brewing for a little bit. I think in a more recent update of something, there was kind of a hint to this whole Premier Pass option that came up in some code. I know there's been some articles out on the internet related to this. But finally today, we did get the launch of the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which is coming to both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And they're a little bit different depending on the location. But this is kind of that, I think in our moderator chat and in other discussions, are we calling this like VIP Light? Like, I don't know. Or is it VIP Plus?
It's okay. So it kind of feels like a VIP tour that you do on your own, but you're limited. You can't just go to any park. It's one park a day that you're buying. So, and there's Jeff.
Continue. But
anyway, so it's one park a day. So there are going to be times when the VIP tour is going to be a better value. Especially if I want to go to all 4 parks. I want to ride the best attractions there are at all 4 parks. And I don't want to spend 4 days doing that. And you only need a 1-day ticket too, in that case, if you're buying just tickets. So if you do the VIP tour, whereas this is like, you have to buy it every day if you want it. It's one park per day. You can use it on every single ride once, but then you can't rewrite on a VIP tour. You can actually rewrite everything, but I think 2 rides, right? You can rewrite everything except Cosmic Rewind and Tron. You can only do those once. So if you wanted to rewrite things, VIP tour you could. On this you can't.
So let's talk about what this new benefit actually is. Jeff's gonna punch me if I call it a benefit. So Lightning Lane Premier Pass. So what is it? It is a new exclusive option for guests that basically do want to kind of just have that access to every Lightning Lane in a single park for that day. So this is giving you access to ride every single ride that is part of the Lightning Lane service in that park, and it is specific per park. Now, going through the 2 different options. First, let's jump over to the West Coast first and show them some love. I do want to say it's nice to see that this isn't really related to DVC, but even if we go back to the membership Magic Beyond program, it's nice to see a lot more stuff happening over in Disneyland and kind of having some benefits that are kind of for both coasts. So with the launch of this, the Disneyland version of the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, this will be valid across both parks. So you will purchase this for a single day to add on to your ticket cost. So this is above and beyond your ticket cost. And it means that you will be able to access the Lightning Lane of all eligible rides in both Disneyland Park and Disney's California Adventure Park. The pass will become available 2 days in advance of your theme park reservation and is available on a first-come, first-served basis. All over the place, there's definitely disclosures and disclaimers that the availability of these does seem to be limited. And, I would put it on par with what we've seen over at Universal with Express Pass. Those are limited on a daily basis. There are times in which they do sell out. At Disneyland on the West Coast, the first time this will be offered is on October 23rd. The price for all remaining days throughout 2024, $400 per person per day.
Yeah, plus tax. That doesn't include tax.
And then for 2025, it will vary just as tickets do, variable based pricing, anywhere from $300 to $400 per person per day. Now, jumping back here to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, slightly different approach with this. You are going to essentially be able to choose which theme park you buy your Premier Pass for that day. So Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, or Animal Kingdom. The big caveat with all of this is that at least now, when this first becomes available, there is the disclaimer that it will only be available to those guests staying in a Disney Vacation Club, Deluxe Villa, or Deluxe Resort. Addition to that is also the Swan and Dolphin Hotel and Shades of Green. So you do have to be staying deluxe to be able to purchase this. Eligible guests can purchase the pass 7 days prior to their check-in date for the duration of their stay, or up to 14 days in total. And you can purchase beginning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
If someone's going to purchase 14 days of that, more power to you.
You might as well sign up for Club 33 at that point.
Right.
I just can't imagine that person exists, but if you are that person, please let us know and just send us a copy of the receipt. That's all I really want to see. The first date that this will be open in Disney World is a week later than Disneyland. So opening on October 30th, 2024. Pricing does vary depending on the park that you are choosing to buy the Premier Pass for. So for Animal Kingdom, we know that this is going to vary from $129 to $199 per person plus tax. Epcot, $169 to $249 per person plus tax. Hollywood Studios, $269 to $349 per person plus tax. And I just started, all my friends and stuff that are in the Disney universe, I just started texting them $449 this morning. I just texting them that number left and right. I think I did it to Jeff too. Magic Kingdom, $329 to $449 per person plus tax per day. So family of four.
Yeah.
We're saying
so I did some math earlier. So at the lowest peak, at the lowest part of the season, if you were to do it once each for all four parks for a family of four. So you do Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. For those 4 days, it is $896 per person plus tax. So that total would be it was over $3,500 for those 4 days for 4 people. So over $3,500 at the lowest point in price. At the highest price point, doing those 4 days, one at each park, it was $1,246 per person. It was almost $5,000. 4 days, $5,000 Premier Pass for 4 people.
You could double the length of your Disney vacation for that much money.
Yeah, that's another vacation. That's another vacation.
Completely another vacation. Just kind of rounding out the article here real quick. The key benefits, there is no arrival window needed. So essentially, you'll have that benefit added to your ticket and to your My Disney Experience account. So you don't really have to care what ride you go to when. You just go up to that Lightning Lane line and go through that. One-time access to each attraction. You do have the ability, you can add the Lightning Lane single pass or multi-pass above and beyond this if you want to. So do that math. That's going to take those numbers up even higher. Photo pass is going to be included on the day of the visit. I already mentioned, that you'll have the ability to buy the multi-pass and single pass as well. So that is the big news out of Disney today that has been
so I
keeping
do want to
people.
point out, Ryan said a VIP tour is $3,150 on the low end for one day, $6,300 on the high end. So average is about $4,900. That is for 10 people, right? If you do a VIP tour,
Jeff, you were just on one. What was the?
is it 10 people? Up to 10 people?
Yeah, Jeff's frozen.
Oh, he's definitely frozen.
Oh yeah, or he fell asleep.
He looked.
Oh, he moved. No, he's back. Oh, there he is. Hi.
I don't know. Leftover hurricane problems, I think, but
How many
we'll
people?
try and limp through.
How many people on a VIP tour?
Nope. I think it's 10. Yep.
It's
Ryan said up to 10.
Yep.
So that is like, the numbers we were looking at was a family of 4. VIP tour. Now the VIP tour is only one day, but you can go to all the parks. So, it just, if you can afford it, which one is better, I don't know. But for us, I'm going to walk my butt over to the standby lane when Big Thunder is only like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Jeff, while we have you, you're moving at the moment. Give us your thoughts, because I know you have a lot of them. I know that you've really kind of studied these programs in depth, specifically, Universal compared to what Walt Disney World offers, even comparing it to Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, and stuff like that. I'll start with this comment just to kind of kick you off, which was someone said the system is what we asked for.
It is, yeah.
But the pricing kills any sense of value to it. So go ahead, Jeff. Maybe. Definitely not. If you could hear Jeff right now, there's anger, there's frustration, and he left. So, no, Jeff. I again sort of say that it's comical that we're having this discussion yet again when we just had this discussion on some DVC shows very recently, and so it was something that kind of.
Are you just gonna leave him hanging?
No, I think it says he's in the green room, but I think he's here. Yeah, there he is.
Hi,
Jeff.
here we are.
Oh.
Yeah, welcome back. So I was just saying how we just had this conversation yesterday. We kind of just went on this rant a little bit yesterday. So give us your thoughts. Love it, hate it, halfway love it.
First of all, I feel like it's partially my fault because I've been the one talking about how complicated and how much I hate being stuck to time frames when it comes to Genie Plus or whatever we're calling it now. How much I like Universal's better because you get to go at your own pace. So this solves that problem. It checks that box. However, the price of this thing is ridiculous, beyond ridiculous. I did some math too, using some of Amy's numbers. Like she said, between $3,500 and $4,900 per person. That doesn't include your park tickets, which is another. If we're doing a family of 4, $2,200. So you're now up between $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. I just did some quick computering today. Do you know what else you can do for a family of 4 for $8,000? You can go on the Icon of the Seas in a balcony suite. You can go to Paris for a week. That includes your airfare. You can go 7 days at Universal at a deluxe hotel, which already includes your front of the line. VIP tours. Like, there's so much other things you can do for that kind of money that, I don't know. I feel like Disney just isn't reading the room anymore. We're talking at Magic Kingdom at the lowest cost, the lowest time of year, $16.45 per ride to go to Animal Kingdom, $11.72 per ride to go to the front of the line. But that includes things like it's tough to be a bug, the
Yeah,
bird show,
the crappy
the
rides
emo
that no one
musical that don't
waits for.
have a,
Yeah.
and so I don't know. I think this is bad PR a little bit on Disney's part. I think one hand's not talking to the other because we just got done talking about the CNBC article where how much more expensive Disney packages have gotten, and people are going
Mm,
into debt, credit card debt, heavy
yeah.
credit card debt to go on their Disney trip. So Disney's answer is, "Oh, well then we should definitely charge more money." You compare this to Universal's and it's like $5 a ride to do their front of the line because A, you can park hop with theirs, and B, it's half the price. So, and the other thing too that's kind of been bothering me, and I'm probably reading too much into it, conspiracy theory, whatever you want, but still, whether this was a conscious decision by Disney or not, it looks bad to me that they cleared out the disability pass people completely so that now people have to pay to access the same thing that people with true disabilities used to get before. Again, I don't know. I'm probably reading too much into it. It probably wasn't a conscious decision because there was a lot of abuse to that system. But all of this wrapped together, all the news people saying Disney costs too much. They're going to charge us for this lightning lane thing. They're going to charge us now for our Disney membership, our DVC memberships. I don't know. All this thing just it feels like they're not reading the room anymore. They're not listening to what people have been saying.
Do you think we're getting ahead of ourselves a smidge on this topic because we are sitting here discussing on the eve of what we are expecting to be Epic Universe's announcement of both their grand opening date, but probably ticket information coming very soon as well? Do we think
They're all
that?
just going to rake us over the coals? Is
Well,
that what you're
I
saying?
mean, it's not a good way to look at it, but I have to imagine that those numbers are going to be highly elevated as well.
They are. It's
Um,
going to be. I think we're expecting Epic Universe to announce something like what tomorrow or
They are going
They
to
are
announce
announcing
something
tomorrow.
tomorrow. What we specifically
I
we don't know the specifics of the
Yeah, I
announcement.
do think that what they're going to announce in terms of ticketing options for Epic Universe is going to it's going to slap a couple people in the face, me included. I do. It is going to happen. So maybe that's just, I mean, I hate to say, oh, this is just what it is now and let's accept it. But the only way that prices come down are when the demand goes down. So, as long as we're buying and attending, and it's going to continue.
That's the only
Well, and
interesting.
that go
And
ahead, Paul.
well, and yeah, to that point, that's the only interesting thing that I monitor I'm curious about is that demand for the parks must not be down. Demand for the parks must be steady or continuing to grow. But we do know that Disney is having issues filling all of their hotel rooms because we see them offering all of these hotel discounts. We see them bringing back free dining and everything like that. So, when do those two things realign, or are people just staying off property enough, or finding different means to stay in the Orlando area and still going to the parks that is giving Disney the justification of saying, well, we can keep bumping these numbers up.
I don't know
Well,
who
and
that
yeah,
is,
to that
but
point, I live in Davenport, Florida, which is just south of Disney, and this area is the fastest growing county in the country right now. And like 60% of the homes being built down here are Airbnbs. And there's
mm,
a reason there's a market for that because we've said this before on our shows. The perks for staying at a Disney resort have far and away gone from what they were 10 years ago. No more package delivery, no more Magic Express, no more free Magic Bands. The list goes on and on and on and on. And now we're looking at these other things where, again, we don't know what Universal's going to do. But right now, their deluxe resorts include their front of the line as a perk, a real perk to the guests staying there. Disney could never do that. There's too many deluxe hotels. I don't think they have the capacity to offer that, but they could offer something, and I keep going back to what my idea was a few weeks ago when we talked about this, deluxe and DVC, you get 3 lightning lanes, like they kind of do with concierge, you know, you get a certain number based on what level you're staying at, to give some of those perks back, because otherwise, if you've got a family of 6, you're going to stay off property because family suites are way too expensive. DVC is way too expensive unless you own, if you're a cash buyer. There's so many options off property now that I don't know. Again, Disney's not reading the room. They're not offering the right motivation for people.
Yeah. And go back, like, it's ironic that these two things launched on the same day, but at the same time it's not, because go back to the poll results that we had a moment ago regarding I keep forgetting the name, the Membership Magic Beyond program. We had at least 50% of the people watching this and listening say that they were considering purchasing that. Now, let me ask, I don't have a poll for this right now because we do have a current poll, and I can tell you that it's not in that favor when it comes to this Premier Pass. 85% of people saying no, they would not purchase the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. This is geared towards a high tiered clientele, disposable income. There's a reason why it specifically is opening itself up only to deluxe level guests at first. So they know who they're attracting, and they're trying to see how much money those people are willing to pay for a Disney vacation. But if you compare these two products, I have to kind of, Jeff, to your point, ask the question, what if the price for Membership Magic Beyond was $250 per year, but with that, you got the option for every one of your Disney Vacation Club stays, you had 3 Lightning Lanes that you could choose for each park day? Like, what is the benefit there? Like, you could charge a lot more money, and you could technically get more in terms of that subscription plan membership out of people in that regard. Now, it doesn't appease to every single guest traveling to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, but it could even sway those numbers more in your favor, which are already 50-50 when it comes to this, Membership Beyond program.
Yeah. Well, it's just that whoever their pricing strategist is, I don't know if they're new. I don't know if they're fresh out of college. I don't know what it is, but again, I keep going back to this. They're not reading the room. People have been complaining and complaining and complaining that Disney has gotten too expensive. And you're right. We all say that, and then we keep going. So they have never really had a reason not to do these things. But I really feel like more than any other time, we're starting to bump up against the glass ceiling, if you will, because I have plenty of friends that have now canceled their annual passes. I know people have spouted off in our comments on several of our posts about, this is too much, I'm going to sell my membership. Now, that's not going to be true for everybody, but they are starting to lose customers, not at the rate that probably will get them to change their mind, but it is hitting the wall for some people. And so this nickel and diming thing, at some point, and we gave Chapek a lot of grief about this nickel and diming stuff, but this is a Josh D'Amaro thing, and we need to hold him to the fire a little bit, because if Disney's going to be like Jurassic Park, if it's going to be only people and they have a coupon for the rest of us, and again, aren't I?
You're good. Keep going. We can hear you.
Okay. Well, we'll just go with that.
You just freeze in really fun, facial expressions.
And I screenshot everyone.
Great. Excellent. At some point, Disney just needs to say what they're going to do and say, you know what? Disney's not for the regular person anymore. It's only for the people who have millions of dollars. And that's going to be a bad day, because that's what drives their business.
Yeah, we've made the comment on multiple shows related to who's to blame for the price increases, and at this point, everything that has happened. Mr. Taco.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was funny.
Mr. Taco said,
and his name
Josh
is Mr.
DeMarco. It is true, but you know what? At the end of the day, we keep coming back and buying it, and I don't want to say it would sting any less, but there's nothing tied to this that is more excitement for the parks that is coming imminently. We have all of these new announcements that came out of D23, Beyond Big Thunder, the Cars Land Edition coming to that area. We've got the potential villains
Right, but
land,
by the time all that opens, these prices are going to be even
and
more.
we will have paid for it.
You're going to be
We will
paying
have paid for it.
$500 a day for Magic Kingdom.
And I think that's part of the plan here is how do we actually uh, how do we actually pay for all this stuff that we want to do? But it's like they do have the capital for it. That's I don't know. I disagree with that approach. And like you said, Jeff, it's going to turn the parks more into this place where you do have kind of the wealthy folks all competing for how much can I spend on a Disney Vacation Club? It's no longer how much can I save. It's kind of a game of what is the max max I can spend, and
Well, and I
add Cake
wonder
Bake
too
Shop to
a
the
little
fold.
bit. Oh, sorry. I wonder too a little bit if once Universal opens Epic Universe next year, that's a big park. There's a lot of people excited about what that park's going to offer. They're going to take some market share, whether it's a big number or not, we don't know. But that park is twice the size of the other two parks. Or no, it's as big as the other two parks combined. So obviously it's going to have some capacity. Obviously, I just kicked my camera.
I was wondering, would you have earthquake?
Your image got better though.
Oh, there you go. I just wonder at what point does Disney say enough's enough and let's ride the current wave. Let's go 5 years without making a huge. I don't know. It probably will never happen.
I will
Yeah.
say, well, obviously we can't, and we never will be able to afford this. But unless the membership prices, like the yearly dues, go up, this makes Club 33
Seem more attainable.
seem more
Yeah.
valuable. Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah, and I mean, I'm sure those values will go up. It's kind of ranking, what is the top tier elite program at Walt Disney World? Well, that is Club 33, and that value is probably going to increase just as these values continue to increase because they're going to continue to see how much money can I get out of that individual person. But it stings a little bit. I will ever buy it. It's something that even
I can't. Not for.
I go back to the numbers that you quoted at the beginning of us talking about the Premier Pass and saying to myself, if I was doing a Disney vacation, let's say that I was doing 3 days. If I was doing 3 days, I could double the length of that vacation, not buy this, have a longer vacation, ride less each day, not feel like I'm
But
just running myself into the ground
It
day
could
after day after
be
day.
more leisurely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go hard all day, riding ride after ride after ride, which some people do? That's fine. Or would you rather have a longer vacation, a little bit more relaxing, as much as the Disney can be, strolling through the park, riding, a couple this day, a couple that day.
But if we bought this benefit and we bought it, let's say we
I
bought it for
I
Magic
have to
Kingdom,
get my money worth out
you
every
would have
day.
to ride
Yeah.
every ride. Like that
Yeah.
would be
we eat leftovers in our fridge. They're like 2 weeks old because we are not wasting.
No, we
that.
we are.
Yeah.
We're not penny pinchers by any means, but it's like also at the same time, it's like you want to get the value out of what you've spent your money
I mean,
on.
everyone like in this chat works really hard for their money, so
Yep.
it's valuable. We want to get our value for it.
As we're kind of wrapping up our thoughts on Premier Pass, go ahead and if you do have any questions that we've not addressed on this, put them in the comments below, and we will get to those. If you are joining us later in this live stream, we did for the first half of this talk in depth about the new perks program, the membership Magic Beyond that has been announced for Disney Vacation Club. So that was discussed in detail as well. More articles are up over on dvcfan.com for both, and we'll be continuing to share some more information in the coming days on all of that. But Jeff, while we're waiting for a couple questions, maybe final thoughts on Premiere.
Yeah, it's a tried and true money grab from the people that can afford it. And I'm glad that at least they did this in addition to what's already in place. Like if they would have replaced Multipass or Genie Plus or whatever name we're calling it now, and you had no lightning lane or this $450 lightning lane, I would have joined the villagers with my pitchfork, because that would have been a huge mistake. But I keep going back to the fact that everything is getting more expensive, and they're just putting fingers in the day, not addressing the issue that's at play, which is the parks are way too crowded, and that's why the lines are too long. We've talked about this many, many times before. We need more to do at Animal Kingdom. We need more. Whoever's buying this Premier Pass at Epcot has fallen down and needs to be checked, because you're talking, $15 a ride, but you're talking Turtle Talk with Crush, Living with the Land, Figment. These things never have a wait. Like, I have never waited
Always welcome.
yeah. And so really you're paying $15, or excuse me, whatever the money is, to
Yeah,
ride
in that
Remy.
case, multi-pass is probably going to be better,
Yeah,
a
the
better
only way that
value
this
there
is even going
with
to
the
be
individual.
remotely good is at Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to add to the conversation. Stephanie said in the comments, I have a grown son, daughter in college, and a kid in high school. Very difficult to manage schedules. We can't just add more days. And I get that. I do believe that there are people out there that, this may make sense for, because you do have a limited, compact schedule in which you can hit the parks, and you do want to do all of those things.
Yeah. And more days do mean you need more tickets.
Yeah.
So,
and you're
it's
eating more food and all of those things. We said that, though, before we started the show, related to Disneyland. We were talking about, when we go to Disneyland, historically, we've done 3-day park tickets, 3 or 4 day park tickets, and we're there for maybe 4 days max when we typically go. But this program does make us question, why do 4 days when you could maybe do 2 and accomplish all of the same things? If you just did, 2 days of park tickets, and then I would actually go and do other things, which is counterintuitive to what Disney's hoping, which is
right, because I'm not eating in their parks for 4 days,
they want you to maximize your time in the parks, and they want you to stay there longer. But the day that died, Disney, was the day that you killed Magical Express, and that is the thing,
right? Because we were stranded, and we love being stranded there.
and that's where the numbers guy looked at it. Someone looked at the financial spreadsheet and said, why are we paying for that Magical Express benefit? It is so crazy expensive. What is the benefit of keeping them there? Well, I guarantee you, next year, when people are going down the street to Universal and going to Epic Universe, they're going to ask themselves why they ever got rid of that, because that is the key, is that they got you to the parks and they got you to your resort. And for the next week, you were stuck at Disney and you were spending every dime at Disney. And that was the value of that. So it was a sunk cost, and it was a very worthwhile sunk cost in that regard.
Well, yeah. And on top of that, at least they did this with Disneyland. But if you're going to charge these kind of prices, why not just say, this Express Pass or whatever Premier Pass is going to be $400 a person, whatever the number is, and allow that park hopping, because everybody else does it.
Then the value is there. Then the value is there.
Then maybe, then I can see a bigger market share going that direction, because if you only have limited time, like Stephanie, and you want to read the headliners, much more doable.
Yeah, but at least I guess the perceived value is there. But if you've ever park hopped and stuff, like, there's a lot of transportation. You lose a lot of time in transit getting from park to park. So like, you feel like, okay, I can get to many parks. I can do this, this, and this. And really, like, it takes a long time to get to park. But I think more people, the optics would be better if you could park hop and use it across all 4 parks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see questions here. Raquel King said, why pay $449 for a Premier Pass when I can team up with 9 other friends and split a VIP tour for the same price per person? And we've kind of answered that, but we've had that exact conversation amongst ourselves and amongst our DVC fan moderator group.
And we decided that we don't have 9 friends. that was our problem. No,
I think you made Jeff spit his drink on that one. but I think the bigger question is kind of the pace at which you you kind of move through all of this or move through the park on a daily basis. That's the ultimate question. And when we compared it to VIP tours, the question that we asked ourselves was, could you accomplish everything on a VIP tour that you could on a day with this? And I don't know that the answer is yes, because if you've ever done a VIP tour, first off, you have 9 other people that, even if you are all the same family, everyone kind of has their own objective a little bit. And everyone wants to do this. Someone has to go to the bathroom. Someone wants to take an hour and a half of their VIP tour and eat dinner, or do something like that. So I think that it would take maybe 2 days of VIP tours potentially to accomplish everything. So I think that's more where the apples to apples comparison is you would have to do 2 days of VIP tours to maybe equal 4 days of, getting this for every single park. But, it's, you could crunch the math a million different ways and come out to something.
And I did a VIP tour, and in fact, if you go to our website, our YouTube channel, you can watch recap of a VIP tour. But I asked our guide what the average people typically do on one of these, and he said it really depends, but kind of the average 7 to 10 rides per VIP tour, 1 an hour ish. Unless you have a group that's very dialed in together. Like I feel like if it was me, the Kriegers, Panda, Derek, we could crush a VIP tour pretty well. But if you got little kids and adults, there's bathrooms, there's potty stops, there's all these different things. It's really hard for Magic Kingdom, even though that's a very compressed area,
Yeah.
to even do just one park
So you said
with
the
a VIP
average
tour because
was 9?
it's just too
9?
hard to navigate. 7 to 10 is what
7
he
to
said.
10
About
rides. Okay.
about a
And that's
ride an
not even
hour.
7 to 10 headliners. That's just like 7 to 10 rides. And a handful of
Right.
those might be like
Yeah.
top,
Right.
Yep. And the other thing is, in this circumstances that VIP tours, you do kind of have the transportation aspect of getting around to all the different parks, and that does eat into the time of the tour. So, it'd be an interesting comparison, but it would take a good
but the
$10,000.
benefit of the VIP tour is that they can take you backstage and they can get you to different places a little bit quicker. And you're not going through security lines and tapping your ticket line. You know what I mean? So there is those benefits.
Yeah.
And you get snacks.
Yeah. Catherine, to answer your question, the Premier Pass would only be, you would purchase a park for the day. So you would purchase one park for the day.
And the price is based
and the
on
price
which
is based
park
on which
and
one.
which day.
Now, VIP tours, if we're discussing VIP tours, you do have the ability to bounce around to all the parks. But again, you're eating into your time the more you bounce around. So you got to be kind of strategic about what you want to do on that VIP tour day. So, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A good hour and a half conversation of 2 big news pieces. I know we didn't have an episode for you on Monday this week, so this makes up for that. As I mentioned, to kick off the show, we actually filmed 3 new episodes of the DVC show last night, and you guys are absolutely going to love kind of how those have aged, because some of our discussions play into this. Next Monday's episode that goes up is actually a news discussion where we discuss a little bit more about the Polynesian. We discuss Disney's worst kept secret right now, which is Reflections, and the return of whatever they are constructing and actively working on at Reflections. So be sure to stay tuned for that coming back next Monday. Jeff, as always, good to hang out with you here for a little bit. And we're going to be hanging out with him more later this week.
Blurry Jeff is better than no Jeff.
Yeah. But yeah, and Panda and Derek said their love. They're off doing other fun things tonight. So, but
they have 9 other friends.
They do. They're on a VIP tour as we speak.
Did you say Panda was at a play or in a play?
I think he's at a play, but it would be amazing if he was in a play.
If he was in a play, we're in the wrong spot. That's all.
Yeah, no. We would be there. I would have like the panda, like big head on a stick in the audience, even if that's inappropriate for the play. Like, I mean, it could be like a serious drama or something like that, and I'm like,
where he dies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're those kind of friends. But thank you all for kind of listening to us ramble tonight. Robert Ratz, thank you so much for your generosity. So appreciative, and thank you all for kind of.
It cracks me up how it reads to you
Yeah.
what the
Yeah, I wish you all could actually.
animation is.
Well, anyone's
character bowing down saying thank you.
But Robert, we greatly appreciate the support. We appreciate the support that you all have. As I mentioned earlier in the show, please hit that thumbs up button, like and subscribe to our DVC Fan YouTube channel. If you want bonus content, over on patreon.com/DVC Fan, that's the best place to support us. Join us and join our community over there, as well as the DVC Fan Facebook group. But that's going to do it for kind of our recap of all of these things that have been announced. It has been a long 24 hours, and it's not over yet because DVC Rental Store is transitioning its whole website right now, and I have a million messages I have to go answer so that we're up and running in the morning. So I'm going to go do that. Jeff's going to go reset his internet router one more time, and we will see you all on the next episode of the DVC show.